Romance on the Cards, Delicious Romance Story. Written by Sofia Gibson. Narrated by Emelyn Sears. Romance on the Cards, a delicious romance story. They slid into the booth together, side by side, and immediately, he reached for her thigh, and she pressed herself against him. "Comfortable, babe?" Her answer was given in the form of a slight brush of her palm along his belt line. The seat was properly cushioned, the lighting was dim, the noise but chatter, and the booth backs were nice and high. A perfect contrast to the bar area from which they came. He turned to her and immediately noticed how bright her smile had become. It was then that the waitress presented herself at the table. Shelley retrieved her hand, much to the dissatisfaction of her now very alert date, and tucked her shoulder behind his. After a brief introduction, 2 drinks were ordered, a glass of Pinot Grigio and a filthy dirty vodka martini. As he watched the waitress walk away, he noticed that this was the first time he and Shelley had been alone since their very first date over a week ago. He smiled and returned his gaze to her. He moved in to kiss her, and she welcomed him with ever so slightly parted lips. 1, 2, 3 times, their tongues danced before he reclined back into his seat. The taste of her lip gloss was light, a welcome change from the paste his past dates had used. "I have a game for us to play tonight." A huge grin was her only response. "It's a game with only one rule." Her eyes widened. "Here's how you play." He reached into his coat pocket and removed a stack of 7 small sealed envelopes as he said this. She noticed that the one on top had something written on the top. "Here are 7 envelopes, and each has something written inside. The game is for you to open them, one at a time, over the course of our dinner, and you must do what's inside. There's no picking and choosing, either you're in, or you're not." She looked at the cards, then picked up the one on the top. After looking at her name spelled on the front, she placed it back on the stack. "I'm going to need more wine, aren't I?" His reply was in the form of changing the subject. Both needed the warmth of alcohol to continue the game. The next few minutes were spent discussing simple topics that weren't covered while sitting at the bar. As if on cue, our waitress returned with the drinks. After setting them down, she explained the specials, then enthusiastically went over the menu. Once the drinks were delivered, the first few sips were consumed, the topic returned to the stack of envelopes sitting before them. She took a long draught of wine and reached for the top card. "Either in or out, right?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?